Let's continue our journey on Microsoft Azure Compute. And in this section, we are going to discuss about Azure Virtual Machine Scale. Virtual Machine Scale sets, known as VMSS, are a feature provided by Microsoft Azure that basically allow you to create and manage a group of identical load balance virtual machines. This feature is particularly useful for applications that need to scale out dynamically to handle various workload on demand. The decision to utilize virtual machine scale set ultimately depends on your specific workload and requirement of your application. If your application experience fluctuating level of demand, throughput of the day or week, VMSS automatic scaling capability can dynamically adjust resources to match workload variation. This ensures optimal performance and cost efficiency. Let's take a look on few of the examples of the use cases. So the first example you can quote is an e-commerce website, and these e-commerce platform often experience varying level of traffic throughout the day, with the peak time during promotions, sales, event, or holidays. VMSS can automatically scale up the number of instances during these peak times to handle the increased customer traffic, ensuring user experience, fast response time, and preventing potential website slowdowns or crash. The second example you can quote as online gaming platform. Online gaming platform may experience high traffic demand during specific hours of the day or weekends when players are more active. VMSS can dynamically scale resources to accommodate the influx of players, ensuring that the game servers can handle the increased load without affecting game player performance or causing server downtime. Similarly, you have other use cases which can be media streaming services, or it can be some sort of the financial applications. A typical application on Azure will look like this. You have a user connecting from internet to some sort of the portal, and that is something based on your use cases. So for example, let's assume this is shopping cart, and then you have a Azure Load Balancer, and behind the Azure Load Balancer, you have a pool of servers. And when we are talking about the skill set, we are talking about these machines, and there should be some sort of the consistency. So it can accommodate the variance of the load, and skill sets are designed for cost effectiveness. So how do we achieve the cost effectiveness? A new VM instance are created only when needed. Sometimes you might need to add or remove machines in a skill set depending on your demand. For example, you might not need to run some machines during the period of week or day when demand is low. You could manually adjust the number of VMs in a skill set by increasing or decreasing the instance count. In many cases, it's better to automatically add or remove VMs by using the rules. These rules are based on matrix. They ensures that the right number of VMs are added depending on the demand or schedule. When you are creating your virtual machines from portal, then you are going to see this screen. And we are interested into virtual machine skill sets. What it does, it distributes VM across zones and fault domain at scale. Since they are talking about the fault domain, let's discuss that as well. These fault domains are a concept used in Azure to increase the availability and resiliency of your virtual machine and the other resources deployed within your Azure availability set. Fault domains are logical grouping of hardware within an Azure data center that shares a common power source and network switches. So if I say this is my data center and I might have zones like that, and I'm talking about zones within the data center. So concept of the pod. This is pod 1, this is pod 2, this is 3, this is 4. And if my VM is here and I call it fault domain 1, 2, 3, and 4. If something happens with this fault domain and if this pod goes down, your VM will also go down. So technically, your workload should be distributed in different pods. So if something happens to a particular pod, your application still runs. Second thing, when it comes to the scale, you will see these options. And these options will come when you are going to choose the skill set. It is going to ask you to create a skill set. You can manually update, you can go for the auto scaling, you can go for no scaling profile. And then obviously you need to enter your instance count. Let's zoom scaling options a bit. So manual is the first option. That simply means it is going to have a fixed amount of instances at any given time, and you can adjust those manually. The second one is going to be auto scaling. Auto scaling is based on the CPU matrix. Those will be fetched from monitoring, and according to that, it is going to scale out or scale in. And since this is based on the threshold, so let's take a look on this one. Scale out means it is going to create a new instance when this threshold is 80% passed. By what? By adding one instance. And when the CPU threshold is within 20, it is going to decrease count by 1. So these are the kind of threshold you can set up. And the second thing comes, you can also do something based on time. So that is kind of the scheduled way. So during that scheduled way, whatever the action you want to take it. And don't worry about these screenshots. I will give you the live demo as well. When you add a condition for scheduling, the screenshot will look like this. You can mention your start and date, or you can put repeat specific days, and then you can put your time zone, start date, and end date. The third option is no scaling profile, which is kind of manual attach virtual machine after the deployment. The concept of no scaling profile refers to scaling strategy when and where the scaling of virtual machines VM is not automated. And instead, VMs are manually attached or added to deployment after the initial deployment process. I wonder why we should do it since there's going to be a lot of overhead. All regions support skill sets. A skill set can have 0 to 1000 virtual machine based on the platform image or 0 to 600 VM based on your custom image. And part of the best practice, ensure that the maximum and the minimum values are different and have adequate margin between them. So for example, if I say my minimum value is 2 and my maximum value is also 2, and my current instance count is also 2, so you're not giving any scale out option, so nothing will happen here. So you need to be very particular about these fields, and they should have enough space to scale out and to perform the scaling operation. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.